Welcome back to Theoretical Nonsense. Today we're going to be discussing Season 5, Episode 20, The Transporter Malfunction. And on today's episode, we are talking divorce rates, the 1975 Mego Star Trek Transporter, chaperoning on dates, and food casting it up with chocolate soufflés. Stay tuned! Welcome to Theoretical Nonsense, the Big Bang Theory watch-along podcast. No PhD required.
We're the podcast that recaps all the episodes of The Big Bang Theory. No spoilers.
So hop into your favorite spot,
Make yourself a grasshopper,
and enjoy the ride. Ahoy, Ryan.
Ahoy, Rob.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Fantastic, because not only am I sugared up, but I am ready to talk the transporter malfunction.
Oh, yeah.
How do we feel about this episode?
I can't say it's my favorite episode, but I did love it. I love toys. I love collecting toys. I don't have room for more toys in my life, but I freaking love toys. I've always loved toys. And their dilemma, take it out of the box, put it in the box. I know that all too well. So this one hit home. And also Raj's side story, I connected with it, and it also moved him along a little bit, and we're getting closer to Howard and Bernadette's wedding, so it's all coming together. I love this. Maybe it wasn't the funniest jokes, it didn't stick with me the most, but overall, I thought it was great. What'd you think?
I really enjoyed this episode too. Both A and B storylines I really liked. The toy thing, I was never really... I totally understand it, but I was never really that into it, just because I'm not super into, in quote, junk.
At the end of the day, that's it, right?
Okay, I don't want to say it like that, but I'm just not into clutter. So when you have all these toys, I love Legos too, but I'm never gonna build my own city, because once you build it, okay, now it's literally just taking up real estate in my house. So it's kind of I just don't know if I can do it.
I think we've talked about it, but the Lord of the Rings Lego sets with they have what is the castle? They have the Eye of Sauron tower. I think so. The Eye of Sauron. They have the
Helm's Deep.
Maybe it's
Minas Tirith, right?
Yes, yeah, I think so. They also have the Elven one, the Elven city.
Rivendell.
They have Rivendell. They have the Shire. They have the Tower of Sauron, and they just released the new one. And you can spend $2,000 on these, and I would just adore every single one. They are so amazing. I have no space to put them, and all they would do is get dust on them. But I would love looking at what's that lady who says if it doesn't bring you joy, toss it out. Every day they would bring me joy. Don't get me wrong.
Yep.
It's just they would sit there and gather dust. So it's a joy that I can't afford or take time to clean at this time, because I have some Lego and they just sit there and I have to dust them. In fact, I just bought a hand blower to blow off dust, and it comes with little brushes specifically designed to help clean Lego sets. Because
really?
I can't
Buster?
get in.
Lego blaster,
Lego blaster. I'm afraid I'm gonna just tear the whole thing off.
Too high
Ghostbuster style,
and they all merge together. It's no,
it's taking over my house, Rob.
But I totally understand collectors and collectibles and everything. But yeah, not.
I remember one Christmas. I was going to tell the story later, but it works here. When Final Fantasy VII first came out, I remember there were toys that were released in Japan, but not over here. And it was Electronics Boutique, predecessor to GameStop, right? They were selling the action figures, and my parents got me Cloud, Sephiroth, and I want to say Vincent. Might not have been Vincent, but I want to say Vincent. So 3 figures, and I opened them up on Christmas morning, and I was in 7th grade or 8th grade, I don't know. And I'm these are amazing. I don't know if I can open them though. And they go, your real present, Ryan, is we got you doubles so you can open one and save one. I'm best Christmas present ever. It was amazing. So I tore into those. Oh yeah.
Oh my God. If you have time, should you go? I mean, granted, okay, we're not a video podcast,
Right.
so no one's going to see it, but you'll have to show
I
me
might
later.
take
Send me
some
a picture
Snapchat
later.
photos and
Yeah.
maybe we can upload them to Snapchat or something or
Yeah.
Instagram.
Our Instagram, our lonely Instagram.
Or only Instagram, but I still have them. And then they ended up releasing some American ones that were kind of I don't know if they were lesser quality, but they did Americanize them, and I filled out the set, so I got Barrett, I got Tifa, I got Aerith. I don't think I ever got Yuffie, but I did get I think his name's Red 13,
Red
but I never
13,
got
yeah.
a double of him. He never got released in America, as far as I know. Maybe he did.
Oh,
But I still have him in his packaging because I ended up in
wow.
college. I found a good deal.
Have you looked up how much they're worth now?
I don't think they're worth maybe like 20, $30 a piece, so they increased a little
Okay.
bit. The big one that I did, the like best investment I ever get was randomly when I was in Japan. I was at Square Sauce store, Square Enix, and they had a Kingdom Hearts toy set with like it was like swords, like from Kingdom Hearts, and I
The
just random
Keyblades?
yeah, the Keyblades. It was like a Keyblade toy set, and I randomly got it for like I don't even remember $40. And it's now going for like 300 to 400. I'm like, that's probably the only good investment I'll ever make in my life, and it was random. But I have that sitting. I gave it to my mom. If I'm like, if you ever find a good like way to sell this, you have my blessing. Sell it. And it's still sitting there, but like it's like the price keeps going up. I'm like, damn, that's so
Nice.
sometimes but the only reason I didn't open those is because I had nothing to like I didn't have any figures that could hold them. Like I don't even know what yeah. So but those stayed in the box, mint condition. But I don't think the Final Fantasy 7 ones went up in price all that much, but I haven't checked in a while, so I don't know.
It's still a very popular series. They're still they remastered it, and you never know. Like some collector out there might want them.
Right?
Not me, but
I mean,
someone out there.
and like I love them, but I can't deny it's clutter unless you have the space and like are able to clean them because they get dusty and you have to keep them out of sunlight. So like I know some of my toys I had in sunlight and the packaging kind of cracked open. I'm like, well, I fucking wasted that.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
But yeah, all right. Before we
Huh?
dive into the episode, don't forget, we have a little bit of housekeeping before we get
Housekeeping.
started. We have an email at theoreticalnonsensepod@gmail.com. We love 5-star reviews. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, and we'll give you a shout out. Find us on YouTube at Theoretical Nonsense. If you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. And we actually did get an email. We got an email from Sam. Sam wrote, "Hey guys, I just wanted to say I just got to the Spider-Man trailer episode and I absolutely loved it. I also liked the shout out in the previous episode. When you were talking about the trailer and all the Spider-Man villains, it brought up two of my favorite Spider-Man villains, Green Goblin and Mysterio. Fun fact, I play a lot of Fortnite, and one of my all-time favorite skins on there is Mysterio. Fun fact about the Big Bang Theory is that every time you see comics on the set, they are always DC comics. The reason for this is because Warner Brothers produced the Big Bang Theory. I just learned this today and thought I'd share it with you guys. Keep up the amazing podcast and keep being awesome. Also, one more thing, you guys sound like amazing parents." From Sam. Oh, thanks. We
Thank
are
you.
amazing parents, aren't we?
I try really hard.
Oh man, the activities that like I put Hunter in and everything. I was just telling Ryan, it was like this crazy weekend of just like trampoline park, then the amusement park, then we went bowling. It was like nonstop. It was like, I mean, it was fun for me too, so it's not that hard. But at the same time, it's like the things you do to kind of engage your kid and to kind of expose them to things. That's
I
what
mean,
we've been talking about offline.
Autumn's still young. I was telling Rob that when we put her down, like she has some separation anxiety, and I'm like, that's probably not great. But at the same time, at least she wants to be with us, so we're doing something right. She loves being with us, and like we'll explain things while we're doing it, and I think she gets a kick out of that. And she loves our animals, so we're introducing them. Like You know, we're not at the same level as Hunter, but God, I hope we have the energy to do as much as you do, Rob.
Start working out
Trampoline
now,
park.
man. Just get back into your climbing or something like that. Like, honestly, that's why like I've been trying to like work out a little, increase my working out and increase how I work out and the shifting the focus of the style of my workouts just to
Yeah.
kind of get that endurance because I know he's only going to get more and more energetic. So it's like,
Just-
crap, I need to keep up with him.
I'm like, we're gonna be lucky. Well, we made a walk around the backyard today. That's what we did. That counts, right?
We
No,
go and
I
we're right now we're going miles at the trampoline park. And I checked because I have an Apple Watch, so it's like okay, let's just see like how many steps I got. Like 10,000 later, I'm like, oh my god, this kid
oh
is
my
still going.
and
Oh
there
my
are so many
god.
muscles like just from lifting your kid that I've never used before. I'm like, what the hell is hurting in my back? Oh, that's a muscle apparently. Uh, but I would like to get back into rock climbing with Autumn and I know Kelsey apparently she loved ice skating as a kid and like ice skating is like one of like I'm not huge on sports but ice skating and hockey like I think are awesome sports so and skiing like those are three things that I'm like really you know she's got a few years but I don't want to force her into what we like but I'm like I would so dish some money out to go
You
skiing with
don't
my daughter
force them, you gently guide them.
kind of by buckling them into the car and driving.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I've been trying to gently persuade Hunter into golf. It is not going well. You'd think that a kid would love to swing something as hard as he can at another object, but just he likes doing it to our furniture, but not so much a golf ball.
But
So,
not a golf ball. There's some weird distinction
uh,
there.
all right. But anyways, back to Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
That's enough kid talk. we we got to cut it at some point.
Yeah. Thank you for the email. I
Yeah,
appreciate it
thanks,
too.
Sam. We really appreciate that.
And that's a cool tidbit. Rob said he's noticed that before and we've talked about it a little bit. And it's just I always forget that it's a DC show. So I wonder if that's gonna come up in Stewart fails to save the universe. If maybe he's gonna meet like Batman or something. That would be cool, right?
Oh, that would be great. Yeah.
Right?
Add that to the list of things we want to see in that show. All right. Well, no more housekeeping, so I think we can just dive into the episode.
Okie dokie. We are on season 5, episode 20, The Transporter Malfunction. And I have to say that I'll tell you when we get to it, but I had a theory for this, and I was so convinced at a certain part that my theory was right, and then like it just blew up in my face. Like I was wrong, but it would have been funny had my theory been right. This aired March 29th, 2012, directed by Mark Sandrowski. Wow. Writers Stephen Milaro, Jim Reynolds, and Steve Holland. We open up in the apartment and basically they're arguing with Penny, or Sheldon's arguing with Penny, because she's eating their food, saying that the chicken tastes great. And she says, you know what? I do kind of eat a lot of your food. Next time that you're in my place, you can have whatever you want out of the fridge. And Sheldon mentions that the next time he wants to wash down some D-cell batteries with a jar of old pickle juice, he'll come over. So he's that's pretty low. Also, like, why the hell would she have D-cell batteries? Like, aren't those like the big weird ones? Like they're big round. Like I use them for baby stuff now. I haven't had them in my house for years.
I know, actually, with all the batteries that I have, even with all like the holiday stuff, you don't really use D's very often. Maybe
R-
like can't imagine why Penny would be using them.
Double
Maybe a
A's,
flashlight.
triple A's. What are the like square ones?
The 9 volt.
9 volts for fire
Only for like smoke.
detectors.
Yeah, that's really
Yeah.
it.
These like for I'm gonna throw it out there. Vibrators. Like that's all I got. Like
That's
what
a big vibrator. Penny.
big huh. I don't know what else. But yeah, I've only noticed this because for baby stuff, we've had to go out to Costco and buy C and D batteries. I'm like, I haven't had these since I was like a kid. All right,
You
so
want to know how
Howard.
you know you're really old? You get really excited to buy the battery caddy.
Right? Or an
I got
organizer.
that. I was so excited. And when I bought that like a little while ago, Christina was and I was all happy organizing the batteries and everything in that. And Christina just like walks in and is like, the fuck is wrong with you?
You know, Kelsey and I have talked about that. Like the happiest purchases I've made in the past like year are new Tupperware, new pots and pans, and I told her the other day I'm really looking forward to like a better weed whacker because I was outside weed whacking the other day and I had the stupid I hate that ball of wire or whatever, the little thing that you have to put into the weed whacker and it like unwinds. Like I'd put it in, thread it, snap it closed, and it would break off and like break off. So I'd have to take it off, wind it out a little bit more, put it back in, and I spent 30 minutes doing that.
The Greenworks one is really good. They usually sell it at Costco.
Uh,
That's the one I
and
have. It's pretty powerful and like it has like this really easy like you just press and turn and it feeds it out.
that's what my dad said he has. Is yours battery powered too?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
mine's
probably the Greenworks one.
I have to plug mine into a extension cord, so
Oh,
mine's probably a good 10 years old. So that
okay.
might be part of it. But he's like, yeah, mine you just press it and like it releases. I'm like, I have to like undo mine and like unwrap it, and then like
Ooh, that
it was
sucks.
raining, so I dropped it, and then I had to wrap it back up, and then there was grass in it. I had to wipe the grass. Yeah. Anyways, I, Santa's gonna bring Brian a new weed whacker this Christmas, and I think that
Nice.
says I'm getting old.
Yep. The
That's
things we love.
right. Battery caddy, weed whacker, man. Alright, so Howard asks if Raj is bringing somebody to his wedding. They need the invites, RSVP. There's a battle royale going on with the seating chart. And Sheldon mentions he hates weddings. Leonard points out that he loved Professor Geyser's wedding. That's because Professor Geyser had to make your own Sunday bar. One trip, Sheldon got nothing but nuts from his voyage to the Sunday bar. I would have to say, make your own Sunday bar. That and like a chocolate fountain. Those are two highlights to like a. It'd be a fun time. I remember, man. I'm gonna sound both like a cake snob and a food snob at this point, but I absolutely hate what do they call that? Fondant, the stuff you put over cakes.
Yeah, fondant's not very good though. It's not
It's
meant to be good.
really bad. But I remember that I was eating that and took a bite and like took a swig. I want to say it was Miller Lite or something. And I'm like, and I told my family at the time, my ex-wife, like if you take a bite and take a drink of beer, like it tastes exactly like vomit. And they're like, why would you say that, Ryan? And why would you even like think that? And like they all ignored me, but like a little bit later, they all took a bite and like took a swing, and like, you could see each of their faces like as it clicked that it tasted horrible. Like but anyways, I would rather go for the chocolate fountain than fondant on the cake. Fondant looks really pretty, but it tastes terrible. But, man, I still remember looking at their faces, and they like take a bite. I'm like, what? Like, told you. Okay, so Howard says he needs to know because his mom is trying to sneak the doctor who sucked out the fat from her neck and is trying to take Raj's girlfriend's place or significant other's place. Raj says he's coming and he's bringing somebody, and it's pretty clear that he's just frustrated that everybody's saying he's going to be single, but he's going to find somebody. And Leonard asks, "Oh, who are you bringing?" And I like Raj's response is, "Who are you bringing?" And Penny's like, "He's bringing me. Who are you bringing?" And Raj says, "You're a bunch of Nosy O'Donnell." So like Rosie O'Donnell, Nosy O'Donnell.
Yeah.
And Raj says he's not telling. He's from Asia and he's very mysterious. And I had a little story about this. That who are you bringing? I remember one time I was on a date and I knew the date was. I might have told you this story before. Going horribly or going very south because do you know where Wolfgang Puck is from? Is that his
Like
name?
what
The
country?
yeah.
Is he German?
German.
Or is it not? Or is it like Austria?
That's what I was thinking. King, fuck. Austrian. Okay, I
Uh,
didn't want to say Austrian because I didn't know Austrian German. Uh, the woman I was on a date with, like, he's Austrian. I go, you're Austrian. She goes, why would you say that? I think we're done here.
and we went our set, and we paid the check and went our separate ways.
We went our separate ways. But yeah, so when Raj says, "Who are you bringing?" Like, I'm like that. I didn't get myself a point there, but I do. I make that same question back, and it doesn't always go over well, but I understand it. Then Sheldon asks if Howard's going to have a Sunday bar, and Howard says he doesn't think so. And Sheldon says he should remember 50% of marriages end in divorce, but 100% of Sunday bars end in happiness. And this is
Not
the first
wrong.
IQ point of if this is true, because I've heard both ways. I keep hearing the statistic and I hear it's wrong. And did you look into this at all?
Like if the Sunday bar at a wedding will actually lead to success?
No,
Like
50% of marriages end in divorce.
oh no, but
Yep.
honestly I thought it was higher.
It's probably lower. And from what I found, statistics say whatever you want them to. So it could be this. It's probably less. What did I find that? The University of Michigan.edu website said that statistics claim kind of whatever they want, including what they say. They cited like law firms who specialize in divorce cases, citing statistics saying, 50% of marriages, but if the information's coming from a law firm, should you trust it, right? So it becomes very clear that these are skewed statistics. But one of the main statistics that they found was in 2003, it was found that 7.5 people out of 1,000 get married. It was also found that 3.8 out of 1,000 get a divorce. Therefore, half of marriages end in divorce because half of the people getting married are also getting divorced. What we find here is that that's illogical. That the 3.8 might not be the 7.5 who are getting married. They might be like, there's all sorts of questions that get brought up. It doesn't include second, third, fourth marriages, for instance. However, at the same time, there are statistics saying that second marriages are more stable than first marriages, yet third and fourth marriages are less stable. Like, there's all these other factors that just get blown out of the window, and Sheldon should know better than to cite this like kind of whimsical statistic that law firms offer up for you to get them to handle your divorce case. What else I find? Although it's probably not true, the likelihood is probably even going down. I found from the Institute of Family Studies that it's probably more like 40% or less of marriages or fewer marriages end in divorce today. That we're also seeing, like, we probably saw a high point like in 2000, and it's going downhill today. That it's probably fewer than 40% of marriages are getting divorces. So that doesn't seem like it's that great, but it's still less than 50%. Uh, the other thing I found that kind of interesting, that if you choose to believe that 50% of marriages end in divorce, you should also probably understand that there's a statistic out there that says that, according to today.com and their information, if your wedding ring, your engagement ring, is between $2,000 and $4,000, your marriage is 1.3 times more likely to get a divorce than one engagement ring that is between $500 and $2,000. So your engagement ring could tell you that you're ending a divorce if you're believing statistics like this. Also, if you're less than $500, you're probably going to get a divorce too. So for other reasons, but apparently $500 to $2,000 is safe. $2,000 to $4,000, more likely to get a divorce than $500 to $2,000. So statistics say whatever you want them to. Let's not believe Sheldon on this one. If you want to make your marriage last, there's all statistics say whatever they want them to. That wedding ring
Interesting.
really
Yeah. I always thought
solidified
it
this
was
for
higher.
me.
I always remember hearing like it was a much high, like 75% of
So
marriages, which really like now that I say it out loud, it's like, might be a little too high.
That seems high, and might be like if you make the statistics say what you want them to. That's when I teach persuasion in my classes, my composition classes, students often come to me and they're like, "But don't facts and like ratios mean more than anything?" I'm like, "No, technically they mean bullshit. Like they say whatever you want them to. If you can't trust the person giving you the statistics, don't believe the statistics. They can say whatever." So yeah, maybe there was one out there that said 75% or marriages are all a sham.
Nobody's truly married.
Nobody's truly married, right? I was married in was Full House where Stephanie gets married in like second grade.
Yeah, because they did that thing where they walked around the table and like
Yeah, right.
I
In fact,
remember that.
does that count? Was that a divorce? Are annulments divorces?
Yeah.
Alright, so that was the intro, and we are moving on to Raj Skyping with his parents. And Raj says it's finally time he needs to talk about something. And his parents, they have something click in their brains, and they realize he's coming out of the closet. They accept it, but they want him to keep it to himself. So they are prepared for this. And he's like, "What the fuck? I'm not gay. He's metrosexual, which means he likes women as well as their skincare products." And I'm giving myself a point for being like Raj here because I do believe that sexually I'm probably more like Raj. I am more metrosexual, like Raj,
People
than.
even really use that term anymore. That was like a term that like flew around everywhere around this time period, but no one really is that really even a thing? I feel like
I don't think it is anymore.
I
I
haven't heard
think
that
it's
term in
become.
such a long like I haven't heard that term in such a long time that like once Raj said it was like this flood of memories. I was like, oh man, 2012. That's right. They
And
even
like,
had that South Park episode about metrosexuals.
I forgot that one.
Yeah, it was like all the parents or something like, or even like the kids were like, just being a little bit more like flamboyant and stuff like that. And
And I think it's interesting because metrosexuality like isn't actually like a sexuality. It's like your preference and how you take care of yourself and styles
yeah,
you're interested in. It's not about who you're interested in sexually. So it's like
yes,
kind of sidestepping the whole argument of LGBTQ plus community, right? But like you're right. Like I haven't heard about it in a long time either. And I don't know. I just know that I'm really into soap. I like soap. When I go to fairs and farmers markets, I like to look at the soap. I like to talk about soap. I'm gonna try to make my own soap. I just went to a soap shop the other day and got some different oils, some different butters, cocoa butter, what do they call it? Filtrated, unfiltrated. So like there's a stuff that doesn't smell like chocolate and the stuff that smells like chocolate. And I have essential oils. I already had essential oils because that's something I collect apparently. And I'm gonna try making some soap. And I was talking to the lady about like adding menthol crystals, and she's like, "I've never heard that." I'm like, "I've read some recipes." So later on, we hear that Raj even has some small soaps in his bathroom. I don't know if I'd make small soaps, but I've seen like these really cool what do they call them? Trays, these molds for soap. Like I saw this one, it's like $20. I don't know if I could make it work, but it's got like a kraken just like epically beating up a boat. I'm like, that would be so cool to make like a ship, especially for Seattle for the Kraken, right? Like if I can make some
hmm
bars of that, what a great gift. So yeah, more like Raj here. I do care about my skincare products, and I remember I was telling Kelsey this the other day that I've used a lot. Do you know what Jack Black is? The skincare product for men.
no, I know the actor.
That's. I don't think he's involved at all. I don't think he is, but I'm not. I can't say that for sure. But they make pretty elite like skincare products for men. Like I have some. I finally used it up. It was like a little dropper of like CBD lotion for your eyelids to get rid of the puffiness under your skin. But like I was also using it for my beard to help soak in like moisture and essential oils into yeah. Um it's probably a gimmick, but I wanted to try it out. Jack Black, they have some stuff called Turbo Wash that smells like menthol and just yeah, I adore it. They have other stuff too. They have several deodorants that some are good, some are bad. But I remember I was playing a game where like we're doing points, and one of the ones was like, if you're a guy, you get points because your soap is three things in one: body wash, shampoo, and conditioner. And I'm like, technically at that time I was using Jack Black's Turbo Wash that was like all three, or maybe it wasn't turbo, it was something, but it was all three in one. And I go, I don't think this is fair because that is more expensive than all three of yours combined and probably a better quality. And they're like, it still counts. You lose this game. Like, but it's better. It's a better quality product, and my hair is shinier. Uh, so, anyways, I understand where Raj is with that.
Nice.
Okay, so he said Raj says he's not gay. He wants his parents to help him find a wife. And his mom says to clarify, he means a female wife. And his dad says, matchmaking is smarter than marrying for love. And we find out a little bit, I think we might have known this, but I don't remember for sure, that his
I
mom,
I looked back at this, and I feel like, and I think that this is the first indication that they did marry for love. I think they heavily insinuated that they were in an arranged marriage based off a previous episode in season one,
yeah,
the grasshopper experiment, where he went on the blind date with the other girl that his parents set him up with. So I
yeah.
think they just heavily insinuated that they married for that they were in
But
an arranged marriage, but I don't. But I guess they're not.
they're right. Like I figured, I really thought they talked about it, but like I looked back, yeah, I couldn't think of anything that they actually said that pointed one way or another. But apparently they married for love, so they sidestepped or got around the arranged marriage, and I guess they're still married, so that's good. But also at the beginning of the call, they talk about complaining, and the dad's like, she's gonna complain about something, and she like looks at him. So maybe not happily married, but still married,
Yep.
whatever that's worth. I'm hearing these stories about men who get divorces like at like the age of like 80 to 90, and their reasoning being like, I just couldn't take it anymore. Or there's one what was the one that I read the other day? He got a divorce just like last year at the age of 86 because he found out that his wife had an affair in 1940 or something weird like that. And like I don't even know if those numbers are accurate, but something like that, something completely random. That like, wow, when do you just let something like shit? We made it this far, right?
Yeah.
But so, I guess maybe right now they're still married, and good job, Roger's parents. Okay, back at the apartment, Sheldon says he loves quantum physics. He feels like it's looking at the universe naked, and that makes him happy. And he kind of like squeals a little bit, like,
And the look
so
that Leonard gives him, like, oh.
the fuck's going on over there, Sheldon? Right? And Penny comes in and says that she just got a residual check from her commercial. I like this because I have an IQ point coming up here, but I don't know how much her residual checks are. Probably not enough for these toys, but I can go with this. And she bought them
I
some
do like that
gifts.
it was a nice callback to her commercial though, because it was like such a small thing at the first episode of the season.
Right, it was kind of a small thing, and it's kind of yeah. Like at first, I'm like, wait, did she have another commercial? But then like I rewatched it, I'm like residual check for the commercial from the beginning. Um, So to make up for eating all their food, she got them gifts. A vintage mint in box 1975 Mego Star Trek transporter with real transporting action. And I think it's hilarious because she oh yeah, I'm gonna skip around a little bit here, but she tells Leonard that she got him a label maker. He's like, oh, thanks, and it's mint and packaged too. And she's like, I got you a transporter too. He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
So I love that reaction, the way she plays him with that, and that she was able to get two. She got them from store at the comic book store, and yeah, I guess he hooked her up. But I have my second IQ point here about if this is a real toy and how much it goes for. Did you look into this at all?
I did.
Let me know what you found because I found I there was a rabbit hole here that I wasn't expecting.
Okay. Speaking of rabbit holes, I didn't realize that rabbits actually do make holes in your yard, that they actually do bury themselves in the ground.
It's like a little burrow, right?
Yeah, did not realize that until I saw a bunny come out of one in my yard. I was like, it was a baby bunny. I was like, ah, whoa.
The fuck you come from, bud?
Yeah. I know they're everywhere. They're a bit of a pest because they're pooping everywhere. They're eating all the plantation and our our garden and stuff like that. But they're just so cute.
That's your defense. Yeah,
Yeah.
I had to pick up some bunny. I was picking up while I was gardening. I had to pick up dog poop, and it's like, here's some rabbit pool. It's like the little pebbles of
The
poop,
little
right?
pebbles.
Like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
handful of this. Although I'd take rabbits over the moles and voles I have.
Oh, voles. Oh God. Yeah.
They are so annoying. And they make huge mounds of dirt. Like I feel like rabbits just kind of blend in, but
Burrow. Yeah.
yeah. Ugh.
Well, the first thing that I saw, that I came across was that there was actually an article about this in 2012, and it was an article that I believe it specifically called out this episode and started talking about it a little bit too. But according to that article back in 2012, apparently these transporters were worth about $305 on eBay. So they're worth at in 2012 kind of a lot. But
Mm.
then I started looking around a little bit more at today's value, and I honestly couldn't find the specific 1975 one, but I was finding 1976. Did you find 1975?
I got kind of confused because I went to a place called the toycollectorsguide.com and
Yeah, I
they
was
had
on that one too. Yeah.
two different versions and I couldn't tell like I kind of just gave up at that point because this is like also the bottom of my research where I was like I don't know what the difference between but I'm guessing it was years where they had different values for the different years. But I'm not sure. And that this is part of it too. I'm going to claim this toy doesn't exist. That the 1975 one doesn't exist. So go ahead. That's where I'm going with this.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it wasn't 1975, but there is a 1976 version, and it's valued between $600 and $800 still in the box. And I found the box, just the box, on eBay for
I
$30.
saw that too. Just
I
the
was just like,
box.
you got this empty box. There you go. But that's all I found. So it is kind of worth a lot. So I'm guessing Stuart just really hooked her up.
So here's the issue. And I also looked into like what the hell does this do? Because I was thinking it was kind of like my I had a Beetlejuice gravestone when I was a kid where you put Beetlejuice in the gravestone and you would close it and you would turn his sign and like the sign was like a locking mechanism that would when you open it back up he would be gone or there'd be like a little one of him or something inside it. It was like a little magic trick, right? And so I thought it was something like that, but the way I understand this is like what we'll see later, you spin the dial and the transporting mechanism spins around the figure and it either turns the figure around to a new figure because I watched the video of somebody playing with it and like it would flip flop between two figures or it would hide the figure in the back. So basically, they would turn around to an empty slot and it would look like they had disappeared. And then you would spin it again and they'd flip back up. Whoever I was watching had two figures in it. So it looked like they transformed into somebody else. Um, but the way I understand it, it's like kind of the transporting rays go around them and the whole thing shifts around with different things that you spin. But I watched a YouTube video that went into way more depth, the rabbit hole, by Brong Mantooth on YouTube, and it gets weird. Um, he said that the last one he saw was going for about $200 in box, but like you said, On today's standards, I would say they were going for more like 6 to 800, but this video was a long time ago, and 6 to 800 is probably unopened. But if you can find them, the issue is in the U.S. Mego apparently released a enterprise playset with like the control computers and like I don't know other shit, and the transporter was part of it. You could get this whole thing, and I didn't write this down, but collectorsguide.com said that the whole thing goes if it's in the box for like $1,500 or something, like over $1,000. But what happened was after that was released, their distributor to other countries, UK and Canada, picked up this playset, but not the whole playset, just the transporter portion of it, and sold it separately. And their alter ego, their Palatoy is what it's called. They're distributed to UK and Canada, released this transporter in UK and Canada, and just that. And there was some speculation, like kind of like almost straight up conspiracy theory. Why did they release this and not the whole enterprise? Why did they just pick the third of it and say fuck the whole enterprise and just do the transporter? Some people claim it was for shelf space, that they couldn't distribute a whole big enterprise playset. Some people thought that they don't have the manufacturing facilities to do it, that the original might have been manufactured in the US and the others were in Taiwan or other countries and they couldn't distribute it the right way. Just Also the notion that Palitoy mostly only did action figures, and toys like that. So doing anything bigger was pretty not in their ability. So, anyways, Palitoy basically after the original Enterprise was released by Mego in 1975, that's my understanding. Palitoy took over and started releasing just the transporter in like 1976, as you said. And so technically, it was a different distributor. And if you look at the box, it will say Palitoy, which was like a subsidiary of what was it? Mego, Mago. And so technically I don't know if Mago's version of the transporter actually exists. And from what I'm seeing, that you can tell Mago's version from Pally Toys, if the transporter rays are yellow, I believe, it's the US version that came with the Enterprise. If they're red, it's Pally Toys version that came with UK and Canada. But anyways, this became a big rabbit hole that I'm like, I feel like I could go into this in more depth. But as far as I know, Mego did not do the teleporter in the US by itself originally in 1975. That Palitoy took over and did it in 76 in other countries that kind of flooded it into the US market.
That does kind of make sense that it would be like that based off the same information that I found and interpreted too. So that might be the
Right?
case then.
But it's a great, like, I can buy it for this universe, and I feel like whoever knew this knew like the ins and outs and made it a 75 version that they knew like didn't exist, so it could make sense for the show. But yeah, I was looking at like videos of this. I'm like, man, they really did just like cut off the whole Enterprise and took like just that one thing and made it like the toy in a box. It's really, I don't know, weird. But I like toys, so I like looking at that stuff. All right, anything else about the teleporter pricing? And
Nope,
I
that's
I
all
have
I
to ask, do
got.
you think that box for $30 is real, or do you think it's like a
I don't
fake?
think anyone's actually bidding on it, so I think you could value it as you can put whatever value you want on it, but it doesn't mean it's actually that. And it's like the value of a house. You could set if you're selling your house, you could put the value of whatever you want on it, but unless it sells at that, it's not going to have that value.
Have you seen that Always Sunny where they get into artwork for a little bit?
Was it early or later on?
I think it's an earlier one, like season
Then
4 maybe.
maybe it's just been such a long time.
And Frank tries to dress up like as Andy Warhol, I believe. And it's funny because Frank looks at the painting and like it moves him emotionally, and he starts like picturing like people in like concentration camps and bombs dropping, and he's like, I love that painting. But
Oh
they
my
try to
god,
sell
it's coming back to me now. Yeah.
it's good. And the lady who owns the gallery, she's like, "My parents pay for this. I don't decide the prices. It's whoever buys it, it's worth it." So if you get
Yeah.
somebody to buy it, that's what it's worth.
Mhm.
But yeah, I kind of think the person with the box, I don't think it's authentic. I think they're printing them out or something.
Oh,
But I'm
maybe.
I have a printer and I'm printing out Star Wars transporter boxes. But it's funny when you look this up, every single person who talks about it mentions Big Bang Theory as well. So they made it
That's why
popular.
it made it more expensive.
Exactly. They upped the prices. So Penny has given Leonard his own. She's bought two, and that reminded me of my parents buying me two as well for Final Fantasy figures. I could open one. In this case, each one owns it separately, so they can't open one and play with one. Penny says they should open it and put Spock in there. They both jump away and they just like hold them their boxes like in protection and say they can't open it because it will lose its value. And I love Penny's line here. She says, "That's what my mom said about my virginity. It's a lot more fun to take it out and play with it, though." So go Penny. I
Go
love
Penny.
that. Go Penny. It's a lot more fun to take it out and play with it. At a restaurant, Raj is eating with Howard and Bernadette, and it's his first date. His parents have done some matchmaking and found somebody for him. And he says in his culture, it's a custom to have a chaperone. Do you look into this?
I did. This is my next IQ point.
Let me know what you found. I just did a lot of
Yeah.
talking on scammers.
Well, I found this. I cross-checked this with multiple websites. So nomaddates.com, which is a blog. It was an article dating culture in India, and there was also an article on CNN as well. But there was actually quite a few blog posts out there about dating internationally, which I think is kind of cool that they're kind of talking about their experience dating and everything like as they move to a different country and how different it is. So I thought it was pretty cool. But overall, yes. So chaperoning is still was and still a very common thing in the Indian culture. Um, Especially if you think that it's going to be an in quote real relationship, like if you think the relationship is going to like actually like go somewhere, then you should definitely have a chaperone on the first date. Having a chaperone from someone in the family shows that both parties are serious about the relationship potential and shows that each of them are what they're dubbing proper. And in many cases, if one of them doesn't want a chaperone, they could be seen as some sort of like playboy or a playgirl. Someone that's just more of a partier, they're just there to have fun and everything like that. So it's actually very stigmatized. But that's pretty much all I have in a nutshell.
I found this contrasting one. I found it's not really a thing anymore.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, I looked at several forums of people saying no, we don't really do that anymore. Not just with Indian culture, but other cultures too. In fact, people who are like leaving cults saying like I'm dating this person who's in a different religion. I just left a cult, and he's telling me we need a chaperone. I don't feel like that. Like things got kind of weird. It wasn't all Indian culture at that point, but yeah, I couldn't find anything specifically saying like Indian culture does. In fact, I found a couple saying, nah, even with matchmaking, chaperones aren't a thing anymore. But I'm telling you, like, the main source of my information for what I listed down was LinkedIn's The Date Crew about dating Indian women. So like
On
I can't
LinkedIn?
link it right. I can't say this was like straight up like the most credible source. I think everybody's different and dating's different for everybody, and depending on how traditional you are, maybe. But I did find that it seems like dating a matchmaker like that can get weird very quickly, and so they gave some advice on how to help that. And one was for Indian women: don't touch unnecessarily. They suggested that Indian women in a matchmaking service like that, or parental matchmaking, I guess, are looking for safety, and even casual grazes of arms can cause discomfort. Like this guy's, like you said, is a playboy. He's just trying to get lucky or something, and so like touching them, no go. Be very, very what's the word? Conscientious of your moves with that. And know that if she wants it closer, if she wants to touch, she'll make it happen, right? She has the power there. And that if you're trying to reach out, but again, no chaperone for that. Just keep that in mind, and that the woman is smart enough to know this guy's playing me or whatever. They also said don't complain, don't trash talk other people, because if somebody is in a matchmaking, like their parents have match made them, and you're complaining, their go-to will likely be he's complaining and making fun of other people. As soon as he goes home, he's going to be making fun of me for this as well. So, I think a lot of this was saying that women are smart and they don't need chaperones anymore. But again, maybe it was a thing. What was it? Don't rely on building yourself up and saying like I have this job and I'm making this much money. That be authentic, be like fun loving, and that if you try to build yourself up like a dating profile, that a lot of women will shy away from that. Again, maybe that's what a chaperone was for, and now we realize women or daters can understand when somebody's coming off as artificial. Don't be intrusive with questions, don't be too comfortable. That's something too, that if people say like, oh, we've been match made, we're going to be together, that can be a deal breaker as well. That is some precaution here, even without the chaperone, that technically people are very overly cautious, probably for good reasons too, like you said, to get away from the playboys play girls or whatever. Don't try to trauma bond. Apparently, that's a big thing as well. That people will talk about, like, oh, my parents have hooked me up with this bozo and that bozo. What have you had? And that can make you look like you're just complaining about stuff. Don't treat the date like a checklist. And actually, I saw this in online dating quite a bit, where online dating was just a freaking joke to say the least. But people were like, okay, so you have a house, you have a job. How's your relationship with your parents? Like checking the boxes. Do you want kids? You like enjoy yourselves a little bit. Show yourself who you are, and have fun. That it's not just a checklist, because that's not like love. And don't. The last thing on here was don't hold back appreciation. Apparently, when you get into matchmaking services, parents matchmaking, that can seem like, okay, we're here to do a business transaction. Let's get done. Say something nice. Say, wow, you look beautiful today. Your hair looks really good. Or, I'm so grateful to be here with you. Something. But apparently, again, I wasn't seeing anything. And I looked at several Reddit forums that said chaperones weren't a thing. This one didn't say chaperones were a thing. And again, from what I was reading here, it seems like maybe women are being empowered and saying like, you can make the choice yourself. You understand this guy's fucking with you, and if you don't feel comfortable, leave. You don't have to be there. And maybe that's what a chaperone was for originally, saying this guy's a goofball. I don't know, but to each their own. Maybe some chaperones still exist, maybe it was a cultural thing. So that's what I had.
I mean, maybe it is just dying down. Maybe the articles that I found were just like, yeah, it's still kind of a thing, but yeah,
And maybe
it
how
could just be,
traditional people
yeah.
are, it could definitely be.
Well, any Indian fans out there care to chime in? Let us know your experience.
Or if you're not Indian, have you ever had a chaperone on a date? I feel like I've had some blind dates with maybe not chaperones, but like mutual friends who have come and joined us to
So
enjoy
it's
the
a group
double
date.
group
Yeah.
date type thing, which
Yeah.
I think that counts as chaperone, but
Yeah. It's kind of like what they're doing right now.
exactly. And I think that's fair, because blind dates are freaking hard, especially if you've never seen the person. I don't think I could do it if I've never seen the person. Um, Even with like one photo, like would you date her? Like I'll go on a date. Like I feel like that's hard enough. Actually no. I had a matchmaker and I believe I had several blind dates without seeing any of them.
You had a
Um
matchmaker?
I didn't tell you that? Yeah. Um
No.
it was like the third year I was in Seattle, I think. Yeah. It's really funny because like I think guys had to pay like $2,000 and women like got it for free, or like $200. Like it was something very skewed, because like men are always trying to get dates and women don't have to work as hard, so they're trying to get women in, which I think is
Yeah.
fair. And I honestly found several women. There were some that like this is not anything, but there were several who were like, she's really interesting and I'm having fun. I feel no attraction or chemistry. For what that's worth. And it wasn't like, oh, they were Frankenstein or whatever. It was like they were pretty, they're beautiful. I felt nothing. So for what it's worth, it was fun, but it so stressful. I remember the very first one I went on. In fact, I think her notes, because we had to give notes back to the matchmaker, her notes were like, he seemed very nervous. I remember I was like trembling, like, oh god, I'm um and yeah, for oh, that was a time. But
How
I
long
met
did you
some.
matchmake for? How
I
how
think
long
it
did
was a
that last?
year, and I think I got 8 dates out of it.
Okay.
And if nothing else, it was a good experience, and it was good forcing me into dating experiences and getting some experience with that. But I met some women who were they were just fun to be with. Again, no chemistry, and I think they were looking for something more serious. It's like we're not in here to make friends type thing, but they were just really cool people. So that was back when I remember I went on a date, I believe at Red Hook Brewery when Red Hook was still brewing in Woodinville. So if you remember that,
Yeah, I
they've
do.
closed it. Oh yeah,
They
and I
had an
remember,
aerial park outside of it. I remember I did the aerial park.
yeah, I remember telling myself that Frasier did matchmaking, so it's okay. I don't have to be embarrassed.
Well, Frasier did it. It's all
Frasier did
good.
it. That's okay. All right. Anything more about dating?
No.
Again, email us if you've ever had a chaperone or have any experience with chaperones on dates.
Or
Um,
matchmaking. I'm curious now.
or matchmaking, yeah. All right, so Raj also says it's great having Bernadette and Howard there because in comparison, he looks like he's 6'2". He's ginormous compared to them. He mentions that he gets a say in marrying whoever he shows up. So it's not like something like they meet and they match and they have to get married. That it's not like that. Uh, Straight to the point. What else? But whoever shows up is going to be better than his threesome with Aunt Jemima and Mrs. Buttersworth. So basically, he is desperate, but he can reserve himself to say no, thank you. And his date comes in, a beautiful woman named Lakshmi, played by Crisel Almeida, who I didn't really recognize her from anything, but several single episodes of things, and the two things I've really stood out, she's been in Fallout and she's been in Shameless. Did you notice anything about her?
I noted those ones too because I watched Fallout and Shameless. But
Right?
otherwise I don't remember her at all.
But she was in some of them, so she's been in several things. But yeah. Raj whispers he thinks they're gonna have a double wedding, so he's
Yeah,
very
because
optimistic.
she's gorgeous.
She
It's
is
like, yes.
gorgeous, and she seems interested. That's like half the battle. Back at the apartment, Sheldon is working on his computer, and he starts talking to his Spock doll. And I love that every time he looks at his Spock doll, it's in a different position. So
Yes,
he's
I
like
love that
pointing at the
too.
toys, like waving his
Very
arms out,
animated, yeah.
animated, but not like claymation, just like in
Yeah.
different positions. Dun, dun. Um, Spock claims the purpose of a toy is to play with it. To not play with it would be bum illogical. And that's the big thing. Spock is not illogical. Spock says Sheldon needs to wake up first before he plays with the toy. And Sheldon wakes up. He was dreaming the whole thing. And I love that he wakes up like a child on Christmas. He's like, I have to play with my toy. And runs out and bursts it open. Uh, he
Guest
immediately
actor?
puts. What was it?
Voice actor?
Oh,
He was
yeah.
actually voiced by Leonard Nimoy.
He is. I was gonna note that, and I forgot to point it out. But yeah, Leonard Nimoy. And there's some. If you look it up online, it's like some of the first episodes with Sheldon, whoever played. What's his name? Who plays Sheldon? Shit.
Jim Parsons.
holding hands with like Lyndon Remory and like thumbs upping and stuff. So he was actually part of this episode. Not his face, just his voice, which is cool nonetheless.
Well, I looked into his resume on IMDb. I did not realize that he's the voice of Galvatron in the Transformers movie.
I didn't know that either.
You can hear, like, now that I know it, I can hear it.
Huh.
Yeah, he's Galvatron. Like, yes, that's awesome. And I didn't realize that, like, he actually had this really crazy long list of movies and TV shows that he did before Star Trek. But once Star Trek happened, then everything just Star Trek just dominated his entire resume.
This is my life now.
Got him paid, so whatever. Good for him.
That's like for some reason I can never picture Mark Hamill doing the Joker.
Yeah.
Like no matter how much I hear his voice, and like I think I've watched him like do the voice, and like my brain can't process Luke Skywalker doing Joker. Like but now that you mentioned Galvatron, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. That's all I had. Yeah.
That's not fair. Oh, so he busts the toy open and he throws the Spock toy inside and he spins it and the beams go around. I love it. The whole thing just kind of starts cracking and crinkling and springs pop out and it like falls apart in his hands. And he stops to think and looks over at Leonard's toy and he's like, it's only logical. So basically he's broken his and he's realized I have to replace mine. Like I fucked mine up through no fault of his own. You know, old toys were faulty. But he looks over and he's like, I have to replace mine with Leonard's. So something's gonna go down there. Raj's apartment, and he has made Lakshmi dinner, and they are on dessert. And he made some chocolate lava cake. He claims that he started off with souffle, but when that fails, you change the name to chocolate lava cake. So, Foodcast, what'd you come up with this?
Oh, how'd you know?
How'd I know?
You just know me so well. Well, I didn't go into chocolate lava cake. Now that I'm thinking about it, I probably should have. But I more looked into like little tips and tricks on how to make your chocolate souffle not fall down.
Mm.
So he must have really wanted to impress Lakshmi because the chocolate souffle actually is known to be one of the hardest items to bake. And for those of you who aren't familiar, a chocolate souffle is a French dessert that is baked in a cup or a ramekin that tastes like a rich chocolate cloud. It's usually paired with powdered sugar or fruit, ice cream, creme anglaise, or whipped cream. It's difficult because it's known to be so light and airy that it collapses upon itself. So it requires perfect techniques and conditions. So here are the tips that Raj probably could have used. And this is from Sally's Baking Addiction, whom I've baked a lot of her stuff and I trust her. I don't know if you use her website, but shout out to Sally's Baking Addiction. So first you want to whip the eggs very well until stiff peaks form. And according to her, definitely use cream of tartar. I know it's something that a lot of people don't use and don't always have in their cupboard because it's like, what else do you use it for? But it is a stabilizer. So it is to help stabilize the egg whites. So if you're going to do this, make sure you go out and buy some cream of tartar. When folding in the eggs, you need to lightly fold in just enough to incorporate, otherwise you might deflate the batter. And then here's another tip. Chill the batter while the oven preheats. So about 5 to 10 minutes before baking, throw the whole thing in the fridge. And that's going to help it rise. And make sure that the ramekin is very well lubricated with butter and sugar. This is so the batter won't stick and it will rise straight up. And the biggest tip from Sally is that after the batter is portioned into each cup, use your thumb to run it around the inner rim to create a channel between the batter and the rim, and this will force the batter to rise up without expanding out. And you want to serve it pretty much immediately because, regardless of how good you are or how talented you are, after a certain amount of time, it's gonna start collapsing. So maybe Raj just made it too early. Who knows? He could have done any one of those. But yeah,
I've
those are
heard
little tips and tricks.
it's kind of like meringue. When you're working with egg whites like that, even like the humidity of that day that you're working on can influence how it turns out. That it's I've only tried meringue like once, meringue cookies, and it was an epic fuck up. So I've never tried again. I was like, nope, not for me. So I've heard things. I want to add to this that I thought it was funny. I was looking this up from hillcountrychocolate.com, saying souffle has a rich history that dates back to 18th century France. Lava cake has a rich history that dates back to the 1980s. So lava cake is a lot more recent. Apparently, lava cake, I did a little bit on this, is from the French chef Michael Bras, who introduced it, also known as molten chocolate cake. Uh, is more about kind of cooking your cake with a undercooked middle to make it more of a molten saucy center. And from having these, I when I think of these different, I think of molten lava cake more as like a cake like thick consistency on the outside with kind of like a brownie thick outer in the middle, like partially cooked. Whereas souffles, I always picture those as more of like it's almost like crepe like really fluffy and a different consistency than cake. Just really almost like not even like angel food cake, just it's hard to compare them because it is like that different very fluffy consistency. However, every time I've had souffles, uh, I've always been offered the option of like putting different types of sauces in the middle, like a custard or something that makes it very similar to lava cake, but by itself, if you tasted it, it would be different. It's almost like you have different ingredients. I believe according to this, it said that lava cakes have flour in them, but I'm not sure it said I'm guessing they do, but it didn't say it's one of the staple ingredients in souffles. They said dark chocolate, sugar, and egg whites. But probably something, right? Some to make it frothy. But it is really again more like meringue. Very floofy and cloud-like, right? Um, but yeah, I found that's the same thing that they do deflate themselves. So no matter how good you are, they will collapse on themselves. Whereas lava cakes, they typically, because the outside is like cooked, they stay their shape. It's just that you have to be careful on the baking because over baking it will cook the whole thing, and you want that interior gooey and tasty and delicious. But they are different desserts, and you have to know what you're ordering. Do you want some like cake like dessert with like a gooey brownie center, or do you want something that's like really airy and fancy and uh decadent, I guess, very angel like, I guess.
Either way, they're both winners.
They are both winners. I love them both. They are delicious. I'm a big dessert fan, so two thumbs up for both of them in my book.
Yep.
All right, so Lakshmi claims that their parents must be dying to know how things are going. And they look at their phones, and each of them has several messages. I think she even has like a FaceTime or something, right? For her parents trying to get a hold of her. And she says that she wants to know that they are on the same page, that's good before they move forward. And that her page is that she's under a lot of pressure to marry, settle down, and have a family so that they don't find out she's gay. I love the way she lays it out. And he's like, come again, say again. And she's like, Raj like gay, like dude on dude, but with women. Like, I love that. It is such a Uh,
He's a
I don't
deer in the
know.
headlights, so he's not being like like
Yeah, he
what?
doesn't know
What's
what's
happening right
going
now?
on. Like, what? She apparently assumed Raj is gay too. And I didn't completely understand this, but she said there's a rumor in their community that he's comfortable in a sari,
Well,
traditional women's clothing.
apparently there's a rumor going around in his home country that he's gay.
Right?
So I think
And
that's why she was down to meet him.
that, that makes sense that she knew from the get go. I didn't realize they knew each other that well, that there was that big of a rumor. I also, like, I didn't, I guess I don't know that much about saris, but that he's a transvestite. Like, I don't know how far this could, like,
Yeah, I mean,
eh,
yeah.
but at the end that she assumed he was gay because there's that rumor going around, and he says he's not gay. And she says, really? There was the lava cakes, there's the soaps in the bathroom, and he's wearing more perfume than she is. He says, that's Unbreakable by Chloe and Lamar, and it's unisex. She has him fill in the blank. I love the nightlife. And he goes, I like the boogie, but with women. Boogie with women. So
Did you look up that song lyric?
I I made a note and I forgot to do so. I have a look. I didn't highlight it, so I
Yeah,
forgot
I
it.
would because I wasn't familiar with this reference. It's a song lyric from Alicia Bridges. The song is called "I Love the Nightlife," which is from 1978. Which I looked into it, and apparently it is over the years has become an iconic song for the gay community. It's not
Ah,
necessarily about being a homosexual or anything like that, but it just kind of turned into one.
you know,
And I looked up on Spotify. It's a catchy song.
like I think I know the song, but I didn't realize it was correlated with the gay nightlife. I two things that have come up in my 102 class because it's urban legends and contemporary folklore. One is, do you know who the Mothman is from West
Hmm.
Virginia?
Yep,
Apparently, he's associated
I
with
watched that
the
movie.
LGBTQ community. So now, if you see Mothman, you'll usually see him with a rainbow.
No way! I didn't realize
Yeah,
that.
I don't know exactly a lot. I've seen some connections and some papers of students trying to make connections, but I don't know the history or like exactly why. But some interesting. He's the outsider, or it's the outsider, and representing queerness as like humans to the other. But also, oh, I had a student this quarter, fascinating student, writing a great paper about the phrase "friend of Dorothy," especially in the military. That people in the military, if you're a friend of Dorothy, you're part of the gay community, and that it dated back to Wizard of Oz. That there are different references, but the notion that if you were a friend of Dorothy, the Tin Man, the Scarecrow, or the Lion, you were the gay followers of a straight woman. But there was also some notions that she married a gay director to hide him from his gay life, like a fake marriage, but all sorts of stuff. But it uh yeah, interesting phrases like this make me wonder, like, how much of this culture do I have no idea is like part of the culture, right?
Yeah,
But interesting. So friend of Dorothy, I love the nightlife. Things are beyond me, I guess. But Raj apparently knows it, so there you go.
yeah.
So she says this is very disappointing. He was the baloney husband she was looking for, and he tells her it's okay. She needs to try his chantilly cream on the lava cake. And then he stops and says, I heard it that time.
Yeah.
So he understands.
Yeah, he's
I
becoming
heard
more
it.
self-aware.
I heard it. Back at the apartment, Sheldon is dreaming and he's on an alien planet. Um, and he wakes up and he says, oh no, two suns and no sunscreen. And I'm giving myself a point here for being like him because, Jesus Christ, if I lived on a planet with two suns, I would have sunscreen all over the place. It's like not even just logistic. I have been sunburned so many times in my life that it's like almost like uh, a traumatic stress disorder that like I'm in the sun, like I get anxious. I'm like I'm burning, I'm gonna hurt, it's gonna hurt, and I start to freak out a little bit. So I would think of sunscreen. I would think of sunscreen if I woke up in a desert. And I tell you, better than sunscreen, I now do like rash guards. And have you seen me in my rash guard? Like I have
No.
this shirt that when I go in the sun, it's freaking amazing. I'm like Ninja Gaiden. It like goes over my hands and like little thumb holes, and it goes over my head and it zips up like across my face, so you only see my eyes. And it's like 90 SPF. And water resistant. I love it. Some of the best money I've ever paid for, and I don't have to worry because I also like I don't know why, but I hate putting suntan lotion on. Like it makes me feel gross. So this like it's the best of both worlds. No sun damage and no sunscreen. So yeah, anyways, I
Nice.
do.
You kind of just got me thinking about like I know it's Star Trek references two suns, but I'm a Star Wars fan, so I think of Tatooine, how Tatooine has two suns and everything too.
Yeah.
You'd think that the people on Tatooine would wear more stuff like that, but Luke didn't have a hood at all. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Right? And like you think of like Dune, like I feel like Dune makes it right where the Freeman, right?
Yeah, they have like the water suits.
Yeah, and like everything's covered up and it looks like they'd be really hot, but you have to protect yourself from the sun rays, right? And it's recycling all your sweat as well into water that you can I feel like that one worked really, really well.
Yeah.
And they only had one son. It was a big son, but
But George Lucas, I found a plot hole in Star Wars.
Lucas.
Uh, it's still perfection, though. I still love it.
I still love you. I forgive you. So one point like Sheldon there. On this desert planet Dream, the Spock toy is there and it starts talking to him again. Uh, says he must right the wrong he's done with Leonard. And this is where I was wrong. At this point, I really, really thought that Leonard had opened his box and fucked up his toy and switched it already with Sheldon. And thought it would have been hilarious
Oh,
if
that
Sheldon had opened his and broke it, and Leonard had already flip flopped them. Um,
yeah.
I later on figure out that's not the case. But I thought that would have been hilarious if he had like gone through this whole ordeal and Leonard had already screwed him over with the broken toy. But Spock's it's not the case. I just thought that'd be funny. Spock says he's unhappy. Sheldon says where he comes from, they don't have emotion, so he can't be unhappy. Spock says he comes from a factory in Taiwan. So apparently factories in Taiwan can have emotions. Sheldon picks up the doll and throws it just as a Gorn comes at him. And we figure out it's a Gorn later. He mentions it. And Sheldon wakes, or he doesn't even wake up in bed. We just see him in bed, kind of struggling to wake up, and he's begging for Tiny Spock to help him. So he's scared of the Gorn. At school, Howard is working on some sort of project, and Raj comes in for lunch. And it turns out Howard is working on his retainer. He broke it, and he didn't want his mom to find out, so he fixed it. Raj mentions to him that he's having issues with Lakshmi, and that there's a couple bumps. She lives kind of far away, and she's a lesbian. Raj explains that uh, she's trying to appear straight, have like this fake family, and it sounds crazy, but Raj is actually thinking about it. Raj says there's compromises in all relationships, and Howard says that compromises don't work like that in relationships, and it's pretty clear that you know you don't make that sort of compromises in relationships, but there are compromises in relationships. But Howard says that he should tell his parents and just try to find somebody else, and that this isn't going to work. Maybe he should find someone who has slept with fewer women than he has.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, this Raj says this one wants to marry him. Howard says, where was I? Man, these notes weren't very well taken. I apologize.
That's okay.
Howard says this is where it gets kind of weird for me too. Howard says they're never gonna have sex, and that's why I have like these notes on the same line. But she said she wants to have a family and start a family with him, so they're gonna have some sex. I don't think her intention was that they're gonna adopt kids because that would raise questions as well. So there'd be some sex, but there would be the compromise like it's not going to be weekly sex. It's going to be enough sex to have some kids. Is that enough for you, Raj? But like, what were you thinking? Do you think she means like adopt kids or?
It is kind of weird because I was thinking about this that like it didn't really seem that Lakshmi or Raj really thought of the whole picture of this. It's like,
Yeah,
okay, Lakshmi, you're gay and you're gonna marry Raj. That means you're not gonna be with anybody else. But I mean, but if you're gay and you want this just as a front, you're kind of insinuating that you want relationships on the side to actually live your life, and he's just kind of that shield, that barrier, like that everybody sees and everything like that.
yeah,
So I don't think she really thought it through, and I don't think. Well, I mean, I guess she thought it through in the sense that it's like, well, you're gay because then you're gonna go live your life, and I'm gonna go live my life, and then, but on the surface, it's gonna look like we're together. But then with Raj thinking about it too, it was like it was very flawed logic too. He's just acting out of desperation because he's
mm-hmm.
just so tired of being alone that it's almost not even really about the sex for him. It's more of the companionship.
Yeah,
That's kind of what it seemed like with Raj, but he's not thinking about the whole picture. It's like, well, what's gonna happen when you find someone then?
yeah. And like as much as it seems like companionship now, like to take sexuality out of your life for the majority of your life, like what is he like 30 to like when you're dead, that's a lot harder like going on after a decade of no sex, right? So he's not thinking
Yeah.
of the bigger picture. It seems like maybe it's favorable now and like again, I'm thinking of The Office where what's her name has the fake relationship with the what is it, the representative? And she has the kid, but it's Dwight's kid.
And Angela and the senator.
Yeah, the senator. Like
Yeah.
they didn't have the relationship. She had the relationship outside, so it made it work. But like, yeah, I don't know how she would expect how Lakshmi would expect to have kids unless they adopted without some sex. But again, sex once for one kid is not a happy marriage, right? It wouldn't be enough for Raj.
Or it was adoption and it was one of those things like we're waiting to have kids and then they kind of just not have kids for 10 years or something.
Exactly. So there are problems with this image. Raj, he's just very desperate and saying, "I can make it work." And as they walk away, Howard's saying things, and Raj just says that he sounds homophobic and he's not actually for gay marriage because apparently this would be gay marriage in
Yeah.
Raj's world.
But he's
Back
like,
at the
no,
apartment,
I like like I'm in for gay marriage for gay people.
for gay people, right?
Not for you though.
Not for back at the apartment, Sheldon is on his computer and he's feels the doll staring at him, and finally he gives in and he starts to exchange the transporter toys, putting his broken one in place of Leonard's, and then he's dealing with it again. And he starts to get up, and Leonard comes in and he sits down. And he says nothing, and Leonard's like, "What?" And Penny's like, "That's weird." And Leonard says he doesn't even question Sheldon's weirdness anymore. He doesn't know why Sheldon just yelled nothing. He just accepts it. And Penny says she thinks it's a waste not to play with toys, that Leonard needs to open his up. Sheldon screeches and like runs at her. And she says, relax. She's just going to look at the toy box and picks it up. It's Leonard's decision. And finally, she gets Leonard to decide to open up the toy and play with it. It's a toy. He's not going to open it anyways. He's with her. It's from her. He's not going to sell it. It's a memento of their relationship, I guess. And Sheldon's squirming like, "Oh God, they're going to figure out." And Leonard opens up, and it's just fucking pieces like falling out of the box. I love it. Sheldon says Stuart must have sold her a broken toy. And he goes on lying and keeps on like stopping and repeating a different lie in different ways, but does finally admit that Spock told him to play with it. It broke. He switched them, and then he defied Spock's order to switch them back, and then he got attacked by a Gorn. And I love Leonard's like, I can believe that. It's like it's a really weird story. And then he hands the one over to Leonard and says he hopes his is broken too. That's what makes him happy.
Not petty at all.
Not petty at all. I hope yours is broken too. Back at Raj's apartment, Howard and Bernadette are there. They're talking to him, and Howard apparently has told everyone what's going on. And Bernadette's like, he told me what's happening. And Howard's like, I told everyone. So he's not good at keeping secrets. They agree Raj should not marry this woman. And Bernadette says they figured out a perfect solution for giving Raj some cuddles at night, somebody waiting there. And they pull out a Yorkie. And he loves it, and he wants to see if the Yorkie will fit in his man purse. And Bernadette says, metrosexual my ass. So apparently she doesn't think he's gay either. She might think he's gay. There we go. He's not just metrosexual.
Well, it's not really an IQ point, but like I was looking a little bit at like terminology in general and like how different countries like use specific terminology. Like at this point, Raj called it like a man purse and everything like that. Lakshmi made a comment that Raj was wearing more perfume than she was and everything like that. And it just got me wondering about just the terminologies in different countries. Like, do men in other countries call bags purses? And I've heard this before too, where they like some countries don't use the word cologne. They just call them perfume. It's just perfume for everyone.
Yeah.
And everything like that. So I half looked into this, but I didn't really find that much. So I won't really call it an IQ point, but it's just something I wanted to kind of call out. Like, I guess this kind of goes on to like the whole like metrosexuality of it all, like how like other countries at this point were just more not necessarily more open to it, but they were definitely, well, I guess kind of more open to it, or especially with like terminology and everything like that. It's how America definitely has like these fine dividing lines of what's masculine and what's feminine, whereas other countries kind of don't.
Yeah.
So like it's actually pretty common to call like small crossbody bags purses in other countries like the UK, Japan, China, and Italy. It's very common. Yeah, because a purse to a lot of other countries is just a term for a very small bag or a wallet to carry personal items. So, but there are other countries other than America that where a purse is specifically for women.
I love bags. I love hats too. But I love bags, and I probably have more bags than I need, and I want more bags than I have. But I remember I was at a beer fest once, and I don't know. I was kind of trying to make eye contact with a girl, a woman, and I remember kind of making eye contact, and she like whispered something to her friends, and they all pointed. And I swear I heard something about like he's wearing a purse, and I had like a side pack on me. Definitely not a purse, but like a something between like a satchel and a what a fanny pack.
Fanny
Not
pack?
quite a fanny pack, but not quite a satchel. Something in between. And I'm like, it's really weird that like grown ass adults are making fun of a guy for like a purse. But in America, we're really brainwashed. There we go, brainwashed into thinking like a guy can't have a side pack. Why? We have messenger bags, we have backpacks, we have fucking Indiana Jones with a gas mask pack. In fact, I have a replica of his. Actually, not. It's not even a replica. It's an actual World War II gas mask bag that I found a person in Australia who had like a big surplus of them. It took like months to get. Uh, but it's like it's a little messenger bag that you flip up, and it looks kind of like a purse. But Indiana Jones had it when he took the like what was it, like a golden idol off the pedestal and replaced it with a bag of sand. That's his bag, and nobody says Indiana Jones has a purse. He must be gay. But for some reason, Americans are really tricked into thinking like,
Well, he
oh,
has
if
a
a
hat
guy
and a whip, so it's
that
not.
that makes it okay. And the leather coat, right? The
Yeah.
leather. Although I have a leather coat that looks a lot like his too, so I don't know. Maybe I have a idolization for Indiana Jones.
I definitely still wear it's like the trendy thing to have like a fanny pack, but like you wear it as like a crossbody.
Right?
I definitely wear that like pretty much every time I go out because it is the perfect size for a diaper.
And that's what you need in life. I feel like
Yep.
people who want family life should be looking for guys who wear bags like this because it is practical. It just
Carry my sanitizer, carry a little handful of candy to shove into Hunter's mouth as he starts crying. Shut up,
I
kid.
I would rather give up my masculinity, my dignity, and be practical with what I will face in the world with some hand sandy and a little piece of candy.
Yep.
So I still remember I'm like, that's really weird because I would think that in like not that the man purse, the bag I had on was purse like or fanny pack. It was just like a little side pack with a little, it was enough to hold my sunglasses and some sunscreen. So because I was out and about and pockets aren't big enough to hold sunscreen and glasses in a wallet. Uh, so yeah.
But oh, but then I did more research on the bags, and
Oh yeah.
specifically in India. Um, the style of I guess the man purse or the purse in general, it is growing in popularity for Indian men right now. So like in 2026, but they don't call them purses. They actually call them sling bags or crossbodies or messenger bags or just bags, but they don't call them purses. So I think yeah, they are trying to use the terminology to kind of like what's the word like feminize Raj.
Yeah. Uh emasculate, right? Emasculate?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that's fair.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But it was
Although
a product of the times. I mean, it was
I
2012.
I feel like it's a definite step to say I'm fitting my dog into my satchel. Like that might be the different step too. So it's one thing to have the satchel, it's one thing to have a dog, but to put your dog in your satchel and carry it with you, I I'm not an expert at this. All right, so we have the end of the episode. Unless anything more on purses or metrosexuality.
Nope, we're good.
I was gonna say that I remember when I was living in Japan that I'm sure I've heard it's the same now that the like you could go down like the hair product aisle and like skincare aisle, and what they had for men was just as much if not more than what they had for women. And I was in paradise because I'm like I have so many choices. Here it's like you have Rogaine color for your hair. There like you had 80 different shades of hair color that you wanted to do. And like here it's like brown, black, or like light brown. I'm like, what if I want like gray or something or orange? I don't know. I'd have to go to some other place. But I also remember they would have like they had hair straighteners for men, and I got into hair straightening. I always broke my hair straighteners because I don't know they weren't quality or what, but uh, it was kind of fun straightening my hair and like getting a different style. And like I feel like in America, guys are really shamed for that, and like you shouldn't care about your hair; it should just be natural, and you should buzz cut it. I don't. So yeah, we
I will
have
say, like, it's very rare. I mean, especially in my area in Pennsylvania, where it's like most of the guys here pretty much is just what you said. They're either shaved heads or it's like just like this buzz cut. That's really
right.
all it is.
It's like
Or
I
it's
have.
super long and they tie it back. It's like
It's,
it's either super short or super long. So like,
and I'm watching Full House. I'm like Jesse had a good head of hair. He knew what he was doing. I feel like even in that they were kind of making fun of him for caring so much about his hair. But beautiful hair, and I feel like if you got the hair, show it, you know?
Oh,
Make it work. Okay, so end of episode, vanity card 382. And this goes country songs I hope to write someday, but probably never will. The pink and green are making me blue. Last night I dreamed you came back, and I woke up screaming, Lord, make me the man my dog thinks I am. I love you. Oh, man, I'm putting that country twang in here. I love you. I'm stupid if two of us are the same. One of us is unnecessary. My mama always told me to do what I love, so I joined the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. The problem with getting older is I can't remember which lie I told her. Your wife don't love me no more. I came to on you more no more. I came to on you. I a good excuse for bad behavior, the tattoo I regret.
are those titles that he like potential titles of country songs that he wants to write?
Maybe that's what it is. I was thinking it was
Or was that just one weird song?
I was thinking it was one weird song, but now that look at it,
Yeah, because it's country songs I hope to write
N-
someday, but probably never
yeah,
will. So I
I
think
thought they
those are
were
the
all the
titles.
same, but you're right. They're all each a different song. There we go. But I definitely got my country going on that. You reminded me where I came from.
Yep.
It's funny, sometimes like I start drinking and like my Midwest accent comes out and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, Ryan? I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know what's happening to me.
Who am I?
All
Okay.
right, I think we got 4 IQ points.
And we went up on each side by one. One because I'm more metrosexual like Raj, even though that's not really a term anymore. It doesn't seem like a term compared to what Sheldon is. I don't know what Sheldon is. I would say asexual at best, right? If at best is a word,
Yes.
but I'm definitely into skincare products and women. So there we go. I'm like Raj. And one like Sheldon because if I woke up randomly in a desert, my first thought would be, how do I protect my skin from, I need some sunscreen. So 149, 150. 150 being like Sheldon. So 1 point up like being
Okay.
Sheldon.
All right. Well, that's our episode. Anything else to add before we close out?
It was a fun one. We're beginning to wind up season 5. We got like what, 4 more episodes?
I know. I've
Right?
actually already watched ahead to like
Ooh.
to take some notes and everything. It's like, oh man, so good.
Things are gonna get, the wedding's going down, so shit's gonna happen.
Yep, things are gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Well, all right. Thanks everyone for tuning in and listening. Don't forget, we love your emails. Email us at theoreticalnonsensepod@gmail.com. Give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Really helps us out. If you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. And we will see you next time when we discuss Season 5, Episode 21, The Hawking Excitation.
See you then.
This was Theoretical Nonsense, the Big Bang Theory watch-along podcast. No PhD required. Our intro and outro music is by Alex Grohl. Thanks for listening.